Ferrari. The roar of an engine, the elegance of a finely tuned machine, and the relentless ambition of one man.
I don't like to be an observer looking distantly at something. I want it to engage me and take me there.
A story that embodies speed, passion, and risk. Michael Mann's Ferrari plunges us into a world of high stakes and even higher speeds.
It's not simply the place, the furniture, the wardrobe, what the streets look like, and all that detail, which is terribly important, but it's also period-accurate attitude, psychology, the absence of psychology.
Where the line between triumph and tragedy is razor thin. This is not just a film about cars. It's a deep dive into the life of Enzo Ferrari, a man whose name became synonymous with innovation and excellence. And like the vehicles he crafted, Ferrari is sleek, powerful, and unforgettable.
Two objects cannot occupy the same point in space at the same moment in time.
Michael Mann is a filmmaker known for his meticulous approach, from heat to the insider. His works are layered with tension and precision. In Ferrari, Mann channels his signature style into the world of motorsport, capturing not just the raw energy of the races, but the emotional and physical landscapes of his characters.
The commonality is that choreography has to have a story. There has to be a story behind it, and because it has to have a story, it's the same as a dramatic scene. A scene with action, whether it's cars or shootout in heat, or round one of the Ali Liston fight in Ali. It requires a story analysis, and then that tells you what to do. So, in the shootout in heat, it's the infinitive, to leave. Get out of there. That's what they're trying to do, and they're employing all the tactics they know about suppressing fire to get out, because they know that other assets are coming in constantly. And in Ferrari, the overall impetus behind the driving started with, what do I want? Well, I want to subjectify the audience. I want them to feel that agitation, that struggle to keep your focus on the next turn. Now, you're not clocking where you are, you're clocking what's coming up next. And so that agitation, so I wanted to subjectify it. It's not difficult to shoot beautiful images with long lenses of cars winding their way through gorgeous Tuscan hills. That, to me, would push audience away and make them into observers. I want to do the exact opposite. I wanted to subjectify the intensity of being in these beautiful and at the same time savagely powerful machines. If you get one thing wrong, that's it. It'll take off on its own.
Every frame of this film is steeped in authenticity, a testament to Mann's dedication to detail. Imagine the research, the hours spent recreating 1950s Italy with such vividness that you feel transported. The cobblestone streets, the bustling factories, the sound of engines echoing through the countryside. It all feels tangible, lived in, real. This is Mann at his best, blending spectacle with substance.
Ferrari was a man who had been a race car driver to begin with. His sole purpose in life is racing. It's a race car company that on the side builds passenger cars.
Jaguar races only to sell cars. I sell cars only to be racing. We are completely different organisms.
You have that unity that occurs when you're doing everything right and you're just in a state of flow. So I wanted Adam to have that experience.
We raced Ferraris when we were in Modena. When you're going that fast and you're trying to find the apex of the curve, and every second lost is a second off your time, the focus that's required in racing was helpful in playing who he was now, running a business, understanding the mentality of a racer. That you can't be off focus for a second, or that means death. And then building a wall because he experienced so much death.
Silenzio per favore. Total quiet. No one talks.
I think it's always good to surprise yourself as you're shooting, just to make sure that you're on point, even if it's totally way off.
Cut. Correct. No deal.
I have the luxury of not being the one responsible for what is inevitably used. That's Michael's decision. And I don't want to leave the set with regret that we didn't exhaust every opportunity.
At the heart of the film is Adam Driver's portrayal of Enzo Ferrari. Driver disappears into the role, embodying a man who is both visionary and deeply flawed. His performance is a masterclass in restraint. He conveys so much with a glance, a gesture, a moment of silence. Enzo is a character of contrasts. On the one hand, he's a genius, a man driven by a singular goal to build the fastest, most beautiful cars the world has ever seen. On the other hand, he's haunted by the loss of his son, by the weight of his legacy, by the personal sacrifices he's made in pursuit of greatness. Driver captures all of this with remarkable nuance. You feel his pain, his determination, his humanity. Let's talk about the voice. Driver nails Ferrari's distinctive tone, adding another layer of authenticity to the character.
So what do you think?
There is no ashtray.
Are you a prima donna?
The core of this character is always forward-looking. Asked many times, what's your favorite car of all the cars you built? He always had the same answer, the next one. It was the next piece of technology, the next innovation, the next race.
When we win, I can't see my cars for shots of starlets' asses. When we lose, you're a lynch mob. No.
Everybody has an opinion about their version of Enzo Ferrari.
It's enough to make the Pope weep.
He was different with everybody. He was different with the women in his life. He was different with customers
Your Highness.
Which highness?
than he was with racers.
That Highness. You, get out to the track.
Enzo's relentlessness and ambition and myopic focus, I completely understand.
There is a similarity between Adam Driver and Enzo Ferrari in Adam's origins.
He met Agnelli at Fiat about a job.
I was 19, I needed a job. The secretary came back with a card, one word written on it.
He didn't get it.
No.
That was a long time ago.
Adam applies to Juilliard, rejected, joins the Marine Corps at 19.
That moment of defeat and humiliation was a big catalyst for the rest of his life moving forward.
After the Marine Corps, he goes back to Juilliard and studies, and he's determined.
Asking himself, who do I want to be in this world?
And he discovers his passion for acting, and nothing will stand in his way.
He wasn't from an elite family that had a lot of opportunity. He had to make it. And same with me. I have nobody that's in the entertainment industry, but it's something that I loved and felt confident where it's like, well, no one can stop me from doing it.
We all know it's our deadly passion.
And I thought that he's Enzo Ferrari in here.
Our terrible joy.
And there was such an integrity to the pure artistic ambition. I mean, very healthy, ego-driven artistic ambition that will drive an actor as it drives Adam to, I have to get there. I have to be in this moment. I have to be in this state of mind. I have to feel within these certain emotions, surrounded by all kinds of sensory input.
You blame me for his death?
And then a stimuli comes in, a line from Lara.
I blame you. Could you let him die?
The father deluded himself!
And then the reaction is spontaneous, and it's Enzo's reaction. It's not Adam's reaction.
At its core, Ferrari is a story about ambition, resilience, and the price of success. Enzo's journey is one of relentless pursuit of speed, of perfection, of legacy that will outlast him. But it's also a deeply personal tale. The film doesn't shy away from showing the cracks in Ferrari's armor, his strained relationships, his grief, his moment of doubt. They're all on full display. The narrative strikes a delicate balance between the man and the machine. While the film celebrates the beauty and power of Ferrari's cars, it never loses sight of the human story behind them. It's a reminder that every innovation, every triumph, comes with its own set of challenges and sacrifices.
He is very interested in internal life. Internal life is 90% of all of his notes.
Doing the deep dive and trying to recreate a cultural reality and a psychological reality.
Excuse me, please. My husband isn't here. He's out whoring. Grazie, buongiorno.
What's the stereotypical marriage in bourgeois regional provincial Modena in 1957? What's the authority structure? Because Enzo's irreverent. He disputes authority and makes his own way.
If Anthony is looking for a scapegoat, then here I am.
That's different than somebody exercising free will where there's no authority structure and they don't have something to push against.
When we lose, you're a lynch mob. No.
It's enough to make the Pope weep.
It's the value system. It's all of those things, and that's not work. That's the adventure of it. And I can't imagine any reason to do it any other way.
If Jesus had lived today and not 2,000 years ago, he would have been not a carpenter, but a craftsman in metal like yourselves. The nature of metal, how it can be forged, shaped, and hammered by your skills into an engine, holding inside a fire to make power, to speed us through the world.
Had to replicate the sports race cars, the 315s and the 335s that we used in the film. You couldn't possibly use the authentic ones. We needed cars to be safe, reliable, and very, very fast.
Yes. Michael Mann asked us to reproduce cars from the Mille Miglia of 1957. We are using the old techniques that makes the car wonderful. But we are at the same time using new technology that can give us more information.
We replicated those cars by doing 3D LiDAR scans of real cars, and then we put the shape together with a tubular chassis, which we designed.
We create two kinds of cars. One is fiberglass cars. The other is metal, because they are going to be crashed, and so they need to be realistic when they crash.
We are having a few of the cars actually made from aluminum body panels, where the guys are hammering out the aluminum in the shapes necessary, hammer welding them together, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, to the point where it's like, we shouldn't even paint these cars, that you can see the craftsmanship.
It's handcrafted. And anything that's handcrafted, I think, has a soul on it. You feel that energy because of all the time and thought and emotion is put into it.
This is much better.
Why?
Oh, and we look at other objects that are designed, 70 years ago. They don't stand the test of time. These are museum objects. They're absolutely stunning and they're gorgeous. And they're not self-conscious art objects. No one is sitting there in Ferrari saying, let's make an art object that moves. It's just the opposite. Enzo Ferrari is saying, I build engines. What's the car you get for free? And they're not designed to look good. They just do look good.
It looks better.
In all life, when a thing works better, usually it is more beautiful to the eye.
And then there are the races. Michael Mann is no stranger to action, and in Ferrari he brings his A-game. The racing sequences are breathtaking, capturing the thrill and danger of the sport in ways that feel visceral and immediate. You're not just watching a race, you're in it. The sound design plays a crucial role here. Every engine rev, every tyre screech, every crash is meticulously crafted to immerse you in the moment. The visuals are equally stunning. Mann uses a combination of practical effects and cutting-edge technology to recreate some of the most iconic races in history. The result is a series of set pieces that are as thrilling as they are beautiful.
You're going broke.
So what do I do?
Win the Mille Miglia, Enzo, or you are out of business.
1,000 miles across bad roads with sheep and dogs, anything can happen.
We have to win the Mille Miglia, then orders for sports cars will follow.
Everyone's eye will be on it. Only one team will win.
make sure it's you.
The most famous race in Italy was the Mille Miglia.
I'm entering 5 cars. Collins, Garuffi, Deportago, Von Trips, Jean de Bion.
The Mille Miglia was a 1,000-mile race across open roads, through mountains, through towns, through Ravenna, to the outskirts of Rome, back through Bologna all the way to Brescia in the north where it began.
I've always loved this era in motorsports. It's the most romantic, probably the most tragic and dangerous period. Pre-war up until the 50s and the jet age. Now we're accustomed to seeing big crashes and drivers walking away. In that era, they didn't. And if they made a mistake, it was usually deadly.
This is an era in which the cars, particularly the Ferraris, made a tremendous amount of power. Everything in the Ferraris was cutting edge, but the racing of the period was lethally dangerous. The mortality rate of the spring team from 56 to 58 is about 50%. So what possesses these men in the prime of their life to do something like this?
Make no mistake, all of us are racers, or have been. We all are certain it will never happen to me.
The answer is belief that it's never going to happen to me.
And my friend is killed, I give up racing forever on Monday. I'm back racing by Sunday.
But the addiction puts you right back in that seat.
We all know it's our deadly passion, our terrible joy.
It's a meditation, I think, in many ways, because the speed is intense and focus required. You don't really think about anything else. So there's a cleansing process of the mind where you don't listen to all the voices in your head.
There's potential dangers at every single turn.
Okay, go for it!
There's an unknown that could happen at any moment, but how in the midst of someone who's doing something incredibly dangerous do you stay myopically focused on what you're trying to accomplish?
One race, 1,000 miles across open roads, will determine some, not all, of the issues that are colliding in these 3 months of 1957.
Beneath the high-octane spectacle, Ferrari is a film that grapples with profound themes. Legacy is a central focus. What does it mean to build something that will outlive you? For Enzo, his cars are more than machines. They're a symbol of his life's work, a testament to his vision. But the film also confronts a darker side of ambition. The sacrifices, the losses, the toll it takes on the people around you. Enzo's story is a reminder that success often comes at a cost. And then there's the question of mortality. The film doesn't shy away from the dangers of racing, the lives lost in pursuit of speed. It's a sobering reminder of the risks involved, and it adds an emotional weight to the story that lingers long after the credits roll. From a technical standpoint, Ferrari is a triumph. The cinematography is stunning, capturing the beauty of Italy and the intensity of the racetrack with equal finesse. Captured perfectly by cinematographer Eric Messerschmidt.
Let's get that camera in. Okay. That's the main shot, Andy. For me, director photography is a casting process.
I think we should try and get the over at the same time.
I wanted a particular kind of active lighting that's apparent in Caravaggio's paintings, where the light seems to enter very dramatically. And it's almost as if accidentally the light is hitting a part of a leg, a hand, slice of light hits a face.
Michael's command of the frame, his use of the frame is such a signature of his, and it's specifically tied to what's happening dramatically in the scene between the characters.
Thank you, Bob.
The dramatic scenes have a certain stateliness and uniformity within the color and the camera movements, and then opposed to that, every time there's a race car. And the race cars are red, vibrant, savage.
When we get in the cars, the camera's handheld, and it's in the passenger seat next to the driver, and you feel the road noise and you feel the dust on your face. 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 And you feel the
could easily have made this a movie that's just cars moving fast. But I never feel like in Michael's movies he sacrifices character for any kind of spectacle.
Ready? And roll, please.
Michael gives his actors space and is intelligent enough to not control that. There is a shorthand, there's that respect, when to give them something that will open them up or when to kind of, be invisible.
He's there holding your hand through that process.
He's thought of every angle.
We all know it's our deadly passion, our terrible joy.
A millimeter will change everything for him.
But not to say that he doesn't have his own sense of improvisation himself. He still is making up shots and following impulses.
He is like non-stop for like 16 hours a day, and I know that when he goes home, he keeps writing or editing, and he's a machine.
And cut.
Michael Mann's attention to detail extends to every aspect of the production, creating a film that is as immersive as it is impactful. It's a masterclass in filmmaking, a reminder of what cinema can be.
Intense story that takes place only during 4 months, but it's the pivotal 4 months of his life in 1957. So it's very much a drama. Not interested in linear biopics that try to encapsulate an entire life and really belong on a History Channel. To me, it has to really be evocative and dramatic, and in this case, operatic.
Ultimately, Ferrari is more than a biopic. It's a celebration of passion, a meditation on ambition, and a deeply human story about a man who dared to dream big. Michael Mann has crafted a film that is as exhilarating as it is introspective, a work of art that stays with you long after the credits roll. Whether you're a fan of racing, a lover of cinema, or simply someone who appreciates a great story, Ferrari is a film that demands to be seen. It's a reminder of the power of storytelling, the magic of the movies, and the enduring legacy of a man who changed the world, one car at a time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.